Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey, and welcome back to another conversation regarding Miss Carlee Russell. I'm sure we're going to be wrapping this up soon. I feel like we won't be hearing a whole lot more about it, but you just never know. The press conference happened on yesterday, and we got into a few things, and this is what we learned about that situation. Let me see if I have my notes real quick for the people that may have missed out. Actually, let's do this. Let's pull up this article real quick. That's what we'll do. We'll pull up this article just briefly. I think this is the one here, and just get into it real quick. All right. Basically, a synopsis of what pretty much happened on the other day. All right, when they had this second press conference. All right. So what they're saying here in this article, and I'll see if I can possibly blow it up so you guys can kind of see a little bit of what I see. Okay. So they say that an Alabama woman whose brief disappearance this month drew national attention and prompted sprawling search efforts across the state said through a lawyer on Monday that she had faked the entire ordeal, including her abduction and her claim of seeing a toddler on the side of the road. Now, the woman whose name is Carlee Russell, as we all know, said through her attorney, Mr. Emory Anthony, that she had not been kidnapped on July 13th in Hoover, and that she had not seen a baby on the side of an interstate that night, a detail that she had shared with a 911 dispatcher before being reported missing. Okay, they go on to say that the attorney, on behalf of Carlee, is asking for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Now, understand, okay, as we're talking about understand that a lot of people feel like they've already given her enough prayers and they won't be sending any more out for her. Okay, I'm not saying that's me, I'm just letting y'all know what the people are saying. Okay, they're not sending out any more prayers. All right, and for you to say that this is a mistake, it's giving that you guys are continuing to play in the people's space. All right, now I'm just telling you what it looks like to us. All right, she knew this. She kept up this lie for over a week. Okay, it was about for a week and a half. Okay, if you add up the days, girl, it's about been 2 weeks. Who knows? Okay, she kept up this lie. She was willing to keep it going. She must got wind that they probably was gonna charge her, and then the attorney said, "Okay, you might want to go ahead and come to the front, and you might as well go ahead and be honest." Okay, so you can get a little bit of this stress up off you because it's gonna come down. We just trying to shave off a little percentage of that. All right, but let's keep going and getting back into what this article has to say. All right, Mr. Anthony said in a letter that was read by the chief of Hoover Police Department at a news conference. Okay, they're saying that Carlee again asked for your forgiveness. First of all, sir, um I don't play with us. Okay, um she did not ask for people's forgiveness. Okay, let's not and say that we did. Okay, she did not ask for. I don't even recall her saying she was sorry. Girl, the piece of apology that was given wasn't giving. Okay, the apology wasn't apologying. Okay, it was not giving in my personal. All right, but let's go ahead and get back into what the rest of it has to say. Now, they're saying Mr. Anthony said in the letter that Miss Russell had not received any help with her hoax, and that she had not been at a hotel with anyone from the time she disappeared. Okay? Now, on this particular video, I have some theories from two different people. And we are going to share those theories as we get, later in the video on what they think Carlee could have been doing or where she could have gone during those 49 hours. And we are going to get into We'll get into that briefly. Let me see if there's anything else that they had to share with us in this article. Okay, I've already pretty much did a watch along of the press conference. So if you did not get a chance to join that live or see that video and you want to check it out, definitely go on over there and check it out. Okay, this article is just giving us a quick recap of some of the things that were said. All right, Mr. Anthony said by phone that he would meet with the officials on Tuesday morning to discuss possible charges that Miss Russell could face for fabricating her kidnapping, but he declined to answer questions or explain his client's motivations for lying. My thing is this: y'all better not negotiate. I feel like he might come to the front and be on some, okay, I'm willing to allow my client to come and speak to you guys if you can guarantee that you won't be faced with any charges. Let me tell y'all something. If that man come to y'all with that, y'all need to be like, no, we'll take the statement that you've given us already, confirming that everything was a lie, and we'll just take this statement and we'll go ahead and turn it into the DA and they'll do what they need to do. Hello? That's what y'all need to do in my personal. So I'm hoping that there won't be any type of conversation. And maybe he went ahead and got some type of, it could be a situation where he went ahead and got some type of statement from Carlee because he know charges is on the way. And the best way for you to get ahead of the possible charges they're going to lay down on you is for you to apologize and admit what you did and be a bit remorseful so that they can be a bit lenient on the charges that's coming, because charges don't come. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that overall sit down was like. And I ain't gonna lie, I hope they come to us tomorrow with another press conference, for real, for real. Um, so yeah, look, I'm over here looking at the time. I'm in between the hours, okay? Because I'm filming this late at night. All right. But anywho, so that I can get this out to you guys. But anywho, I'm hoping that they come to us with another press conference once they have their sit down, especially if they get the opportunity to meet with her. Okay. And once they, but then again, would it be necessary to come to us, now that I'm thinking about it, if she admits to them directly in their face the same thing that she admitted on that paper? The next time they come to us may possibly be them letting us know that they are now about to charge her, or she's going to be fined, or whatever the case is. Okay. So we shall see. But let's see, is there anything else? They said the police chief said at the news conference that the police were in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office about possible charges in the case. They coming. If y'all have been in conversation, that means that they are coming. The DA are the ones that have to, pretty much serve her or whatever, or charge her or whatever the case is, but they are coming. The district attorney's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Monday. Of course not. The investigation is still open. So we'll hear a lot from them when they get ready to bring down their hammer. Now, when reached by phone, Talitha Russell, who is Carlee Russell's mother, said this is what she told them now, and this is from New York Times. They said that she said now is not a good time, and then she hung up. She did not immediately respond to questions by text. So I guess they had her number and they text her too. So she didn't respond by text, and she hung up in their face. Do you hear what it is that they are saying? And it's so funny that now it's not a good time for you to have a conversation, but you had all the time in the world to get your ass up there on the Today Show and sit up there and make it seem like your daughter was abducted. And you stand firm by what she said, so much so that you made it even appear. This is why it's giving fake for me. And fake fraud, okay, is what it's giving for me when it comes to the mama. Daddy knew better to not say a whole lot. But when it came to the mama, she sat up there and she was like, when I went to the door, she was, I can't remember exactly what she said, but basically she tried to say something was how she looked. She looked like she was bothered. She was unresponsive and all of this. I had to, I tried to hug her the best I could. And then I stepped back and then I let medical professionals get to her. First of all, medical professionals weren't even there. Y'all had to call them for them to get there. That's one. And then two, now this girl came out lying, admitting that everything was fake, and she just gladly walked into the house. So everything that you said, you looked a fool on. And for me, I know a lot of people don't want the parents to be blamed, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to question their involvement with whatever happened with the daughter based on the interview that they did. Because you knew your daughter wasn't in no type of condition in any way for you to sit up there and continue to push that narrative like she was really a victim out here. I didn't you must then have your attorney or the family friend attorney that you did have did not give you great advice, because a good attorney would have told you, don't you take your ass up there to the Today Show playing it on people's face. Okay. And girl, your interview is what set it all off. Well, first of all, it was Carlee, yes, but you said it. See, Hoover would have still been quiet if you would have never did that interview. But the fact that you did it, you let all the rest of the floodgates open up on y'all. So that's really on you, ma'am. Okay, and your daughter. But let's keep going. All right. They say the admission from Miss Russell capped a puzzling case that had been shrouded in mystery from the moment she told a story about a child walking on the side of a heavily traversed road at night. An image, they said, an image that skepticism from basically the investigators, started to show a bit of, they was a little skeptical about what the hell was going on. All right. They said when Miss Russell called 911, she told the dispatcher that she would pull over, help the toddler. She then called a family member to report same details. That person heard Miss Russell scream on the phone. That was the last time they ever heard from her. Okay. She was gone for 2 days. We already know the story. Okay. We already pretty much know the story about the press conference from last week. All right. They said that, of course, on Monday, the investigators still wanted to meet with Miss Russell to piece together a timeline and fully understand her reasons for the hoax. And I'm just wondering, did you think they was never going to find out? Did you think that you planned the perfect kidnapping to a point that they were just not going to dig into your story and find out that you was lying? What exactly was you over there thinking in your head? Did you think you was gonna get away with it? Girl, that's wild. Girl, no, ma'am. Let's see if there's anything else that I care to talk about. Nope. The only things that I really wanted to capture was some of the details of what they gave us at the press conference. And also, news to me, New York Times done reached out to Miss Russell, the mama. She done answered the phone and hung up in the folks' face and said it's not a good time to talk. I bet it ain't. But you had all that time on last week to talk, girl. This is a mess, girl. You must have got word that them charges is possibly on the way. That must be what that is. Okay. So that's pretty much a quick briefing of a little bit, okay? And I'll go back through it. She said she made a mistake. She said she was not at a hotel, so the whole Red Roof Inn thing, she said she wasn't there, which is interesting because I am going to play something a little later with this person's theory on where they believe that she was, okay? So we'll get into that a little later. She apologized. She said that she did not get help from anyone. I refuse to believe that. Ain't nobody going to make me believe that. I just feel like she wants to be in a position where she'll finally take some accountability and the other person won't get in trouble for her own behavior. Okay. I don't believe that she was there by herself. All right. What else? She said no kidnapping, no baby. She stayed in Hoover. She also no. A question was asked of the chief about whether the family members, the parents, will be charged with anything, and he did not give a direct no. He basically said anything is possible, so they are still continuing to investigate. So it's seeming to me that he must have some incriminating evidence that could possibly lead that way, or either he has an inkling that they could have possibly helped, her out in some type of capacity, because then you just can't trust nobody at this point. Okay. And that's just a stain on the Russell family, in my personal opinion. That's a stain on y'all. That's a stain. Anyway, girl, you did it. You did it to yourself. We hate to see it. Another thing I wanted to talk about real quickly is the fact that a lot of people were talking about the $63,000 and how it's not going to be refunded. This is new news, okay? This is new news. I've been talking to y'all about that last week, about how Crime Stoppers had started to give money back to the large donors. I believe it was a total of $45,000 that they started to give back to large donors. I believe they had already started running the transactions to go back from the banks to those people banks, okay? So that process had already been started, because it kind of left me confused, because I'm like, well, if y'all already started the process, how are y'all going to stop it? Because at first they were refunding money. Once Hoover Police learned about it, Hoover Police sat up there and said, "Oh no, we're not going to do that. We're ain't nobody getting no money back." And I'm like, well, 45,000 of the 63 already gone. So you think these people finna send y'all another 20? Were you able to stop it in time? How did that work? How did that go? So technically, y'all only have whatever's left of the remaining 63. Now that the 45 is taken out, and Crime Stoppers put in 5,000 of that, and then they said they were starting to send money back to people that paid via PayPal and other streams. So I'm a little confused. And then if y'all holding the money, what you holding it for? The only thing that I could think of is the fact that it's still an open investigation and nobody is getting anything until it fully closes. Okay. That's the only thing that I could think of. I doubt they're going to hold on to it so that Carlee can use it to go towards whatever fine she got, because that ain't her fucking money. She didn't earn that, and it wasn't a reward. She should definitely not receive no money for finding her damn self, because she was never lost. Like, girl, what? I think those people will get their money back. I just don't think that they're gonna get it back right now while the investigation is still open. I think once they solidify things, they get ready to close it. Possibly when she's charged, they might get it back, or who knows, they might get it back after, she's been convicted of whatever. Like, I don't know. But I think once this investigation is closed, money might start moving. The money that has not gone back, I think that's when it's going to start moving at that time. Okay, so there's that. So what all we talked about, we pretty much recapped what the press conference was about on Monday. We also talked about the $63,000 and things, because I'm starting to see that that's more of a conversation now, even though it's old news, just a little bit. Not that old, though, just a few days old. The next thing I want to talk about is the boyfriend. Baby, I'm getting tired of you a little bit too. But some part of me don't blame you a little bit, because I see what you're doing there. She did involve you with this in this mess. I feel like you definitely involved yourself in this mess, and you are going to make sure that you get any piece of clout off of it that you can, because she wasted your time too. And as much as I want to feel away, I can't. I'm like, sir, get your followers. Like, I don't know why people following you. I mean, I think the guy is handsome, but what else? What we follow? Anywho, the people following him, I can't tell y'all what to do with y'all social medias. Sir, get your followers, okay, as you can. And he then also got verified. That sir is probably going to be at 100,000 followers on Instagram by the end of this month. Okay, I really believe he already at 60. So getting another 40, I don't see it not happening. Okay. But it's just so funny that he put out a statement. Okay, let's go from the beginning. Okay. Mr. What's his name? Tamar, Mr. T, came to the front a while ago to put out this statement to let us know that his girl was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours. So until she's physically and mentally stable again, she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper at this very moment. Okay, this is what he said when he came out, and he was like, he didn't even know where to start and all this other stuff. And Carlee, all this stuff she been through, or whatever the case is, he was really being a supporter of hers. Okay, at first. Then we got the sister. Okay, after he kind of went silent a little bit, the sister came out mad as hell, ready to head but Carlee, because Carlee full of shit, and she done put the family through a whole lot of stuff. And the sister said, I just can't take this no more. Okay. Now, after that happened, what did he decide to do? He decided, after his sister said what she said and it started to make its rounds, he decided to do an interview with the New York Post and let them know that people should not bully her. They should consider her mental state. All right. Don't bully her, whatever the case is. Consider her mental state, yada, yada, yada. All right. Now, this press conference that came out, okay, and you hear her statement, which is so funny, because I'm like, you over here talking about don't bully her, whatever the case is, whoop, whoop, whoop. But your sister making it seem like you pissed the hell off too. But I guess she was trying to take the high road at that time. Did she not tell you that this was fake? Did you not know? Because after you heard the press conference, then you decided to go to your social media and you decided to put this post up. Okay. So he says Carlee's actions created hurt, confusion, and dishonesty. I was made aware of the false narrative after coming to the defense of my ex, Carlee Russell. Myself and my family's nature was to react in love and genuine concern. We are disgusted from the outcome of this entire situation. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that, T. Don't say that you're disgusted, because she might feel like you're bullying her just a little bit. You're coming up against her with the other masses. Don't say that. You should continue to operate in love and genuine concern as you did before, right? Okay. We are disgusted from the outcome of this entire situation. I strongly feel exactly like you all, blindsided with Carlee's actions. Sir, baby boy, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. I feel like you can miss us with that. I feel like you can miss us with that. Tell me you feel blindsided. But you was just sticking up for her. That ain't what you said the other day. You ain't say that the other day. You ain't say that the other day. That's not what you said the past few days. And then now you want to come back so much you been blindsided. Girl, I guess, honey. Like, girl, let me just. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. All right. He says he was blindsided with Carlee's actions. This is still an ongoing investigation, but with all of the recent information and her confession, now we gain closure with this situation. Thank you to all my family, friends, and the nation for support through this. I want to also send my prayers and thanks to Miss Angela Haley Harris. That is Anaya Harris's mom, Anaya Blanchard's mom, the young lady that passed away. I played the video of her dad for you guys. I believe it was over the weekend or at some point where her dad was really upset at how Carlee played games, and he did not believe that she was kidnapped either. Okay. So this is who they're apologizing to, because their daughter was actually kidnapped and found unalive. All right. So for her to sit up there and play with that, got the mama down there, got this girl mama down there searching for her, trying to find her whole time. You somewhere kicked up, laid up, looking, laughing, and whatever the hell else you over there doing. That's messed up. You owe that lady a personal apology. You need to go to that lady to her face and apologize to her for your actions, girl. Anywho, so he goes on and he apologizes to Anaya's mom and her team and all of the volunteers. He says, thank you again for your unwavering support. The severity in this matter has not been overlooked, and I deeply respect the genuine support shared during this time. Please continue to keep us in your prayers. With love, Tamar. Okay. So that's what he had to say. And I get, listen, I'm going to say this. I feel like when you get details from Hoover Police, it does hit a little different, honey. It do hit a little different for the people. So if you did not get the realization on last week that she lied, now hearing her statement is definitely enough of a confirmation for you to hop off the train. Okay. And I'm not gonna hold you, because I stayed on the train for a long time waiting on Hoover Police, and I hopped off last week. And some people get off at different times. So you chose to get off at this particular time, and it's okay. And I ain't gonna drag you too much or whatever. I'm just saying that what you saying today and what you said the other day, but you got a right to change your mind. And that's just where we at with that. Okay. So let me see. Is there anything else with the boyfriend that I wanted to get into? I think that was it with the boyfriend. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is, okay, one of the theories that I came across, and then we'll get into another theory. This one, that the next one's going to be a video, but this one here is like a status. Okay. And this woman says, I have a theory. Many have wondered about the toilet paper in the Carlee Russell disappearance. Here's my theory, okay? It's just a theory. It's not a fact. So, don't take this as fact or anything like that, okay? This is just something that she's trying to piece together. And that's just, where we are, all right? So let's just get into that, okay? She says, here's my theory. Carlee lives in Lake Wilbourn. Okay. Her mother works as a realtor. There are homes in the Lake Wilbourn neighborhood for sale. If she had stayed outside and used toilet paper, the search parties would have found it. If she was squatting in a vacant house with working plumbing, that would explain the need for toilet paper. The statement from her attorney says she didn't leave Hoover. So use the black robe to conceal while walking through the woods. Again, access to a vacant or under construction home. Now, wait a minute. My question is, how do we know that the robe was black? Where did you get that information from? Right? But it's a theory, so you could assume, I guess, that it was black if she gonna be running through the woods like a bear. Anywho, let's keep going. All right, they said a vacant or under construction home. Now, a vacant home is going to tie into the next one. All right. And these are two different people. Okay. This is a woman. The other person is going to be a man that's going to give their theory. But then they say, then just walk home along the sidewalk when she decides to reappear. I do know that many homes for sale keep the water turned on, whether the house was one her mother is selling or someone else was. If she has access to the information her mother does. Okay. Yeah, if she has access to the information her mother does, then she would be able to look up a home and find one not scheduled to show or not pending. These photos are just a theory to give an example of how easy it would be. I don't even know if I had if the home is vacant. There are some homes for sale. Realtors have access to a lot of information regarding homes for sale. If she gained access to that, she could, easily pull it off. All right. So that's what this person said. She could easily pull off something. And to me, I'm like, that's not too far-fetched. Her mama is a realtor. Like, we're not accusing her mom of anything. But when you think of theories, because now that we know more, at first, it was like, I don't believe this story is true. I don't believe this story is true. And then we find out that the story is not true. So then we like, why don't she just come out and give a statement? Why don't she just say something? Okay, she came out and gave something. She gave a statement. Now the conversation is continuing to go. Same way it kind of was with Wednesday, but even more so now that she's given a statement admitting that it's false. More people are like, well, if that's what it is, then can somebody please just tell us where and what was she doing for those for those 49 hours that she was away? Like, what was really going on? Like, what's happening? So I think it's going to be, and I'm saying that to say a lot of theories are indeed going to be coming up about this situation. And this woman did put up a post. I'm probably not going to post it, but she put up a post where she showed some homes that are not that far from where Carlee's home is, and how she believes if she walked on foot, it could have possibly took her 3 hours to get to the house, right? So that could have happened. I mean, if she wasn't at a hotel and she's saying that she stayed at Hoover, now I am myself starting to think, could it have been a vacant home? So for this lady to say that, it's like, that's not too far-fetched. Her mom is a realtor, not putting anything on her, because we do not know. Okay. But because she said she didn't have no help or anything. So what house was you at? Where were you laid up with your robe and your toilet tissue, no electronics, and your snacks? Where was you held up at? That don't make sense. So let me play this other guy. Let me go ahead and get him on the screen so y'all can hear his breakdown on what he think happened. Okay, so let me share that. And we'll get him up here on the screen right here. All right.
We got here. Let's see if they pop up yet. He do look creepy. She saw trespass. She turned that car around, almost run over me like Barney Fife without Andy. Hey, everybody. Me and the soldier out here, we going live. This house right here, we think this house is complicit and could be the house, and we're gonna get on up out of here. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Now, keep in mind, this is just a theory. This is not a fact, okay? They just got like a theory of what they think could possibly have, happened.
Possibly the house. Let's walk, man, and tell me about it. Let's go through here. I got my boy with me, and got the military man with me. T-Town. So it's the proximity. This house and all this overgrowth is right off mile marker 10. And this particular property is owned by a gentleman whose two grandsons, one of them was into the medical field, and one of them, there was this somewhat of a situation with knowing her. And this exclusive house right here. Now, when they came searching, it was only one light on in this house, and it's up for sale. And they even got no trespassing sign, and it's perfectly off this little. How far are we from the interstate? So
about 1,500 feet. So
about 1,500 feet or so from. This is the vacant house. You see, they got the little thing there. No one is never here, but this one light was on. All right, with no car and no nothing. Okay, and to make this little trick, I'm seeing some little houses back here. So which way should you go? Think we should go?
The best way would probably be through here.
Through here?
Yeah.
We're gonna go through here. I'm going through snakes. Don't worry now. I got my big boots on. See that? Got my big boots. I can do this. We can do this. So we're gonna show you that this house, and if the police would do their job, this is right off mile marker 10, and it's a perfect spot through the houses. We get into the houses, get off it. So she could have came right through here and right through the street, the subdivision, and hid out And that's how I pull that off. Some mean sticker bar brushes. And she's right at the interstate. It's perfectly convenient to hide out at. And voila, here you are. She could walk from that house. She could stay over the weekend and walk to that house that nobody's living in. And we'll show you the sign. And this is right off mile marker 10. Okay? This is right off of mile marker 10.
So is this the neighborhood on the other side of the street?
She wasn't at no red roof.
Now I see the houses. I got to do some more research.
She was in here.
To see
okay.
If these are the houses on the other
come and get us off private property. So let's go back up here and see, can we get us a bond for trespassing? But you know me, guys. When I'm on to something, grab that hat for me. Okay. Put it back on. I don't want to get no poison ivy. Okay. I don't mind being stung. That damn poison ivy. Something else. Y'all hold on. All right. Army man, get me back to where we came from. Which way? Have I passed it up? Okay, you. That's a good military man for you. That's a good military man. So we're going. So we thinking that this is the route she took. Okay, this is the route she took. And again, the next is that the AUM situation and the father and the grandfather who owns the property and the two sons and with who she was in the medical industry and who she is as working as a masseuse, she meets a lot of people. And see, voila, we back here. We back to the perfect little building. Got no trespassing signs. It's a perfect place to hang up. And if she got any bruises and scratches, they got because she was toiling around at night trying to get here. And those bruises and scratches are not from anybody doing anything. She could have held up in there. She could have held up in here. But with the lights, and we we're very much suspect that somebody at one point might have been in this little house with her. Okay? This is the perfect, and the girl ain't dumb. The way she executed all that bullshit with the toddler, because you know, if it's just said a black girl on the side of the road or whatever, ain't nobody gonna come to that. But she said a toddler, didn't give no ethnicity and none of that. So the police gonna react to that, and the citizens gonna react. Everybody tell me why we did all that. Look, if there had been just a black girl missing, we had the same Coleman girl that was missing for 4 days, same as her. Ain't nobody even called her name, okay? But it was the toddler was the difference. So this is my perspective on it. I had to come out here because I believe in fact. I believe in things you say, and I'm still trying to see what the involvement of the police department from Harpersville. I still want to know there's involvement there because they tried to walk by their statement and all. What you think? You want to say anything, Soldier?
Honestly, man, this is me being honest.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense for her to be that far out from the interstate, and she was only maybe 5-15 minutes away from the house here.
Okay.
So nowhere she could have went in terms of out of state or out of the jurisdiction.
This is where she was at.
This is what she was held up at.
She was held up in there.
Because look at the house and stuff.
And she had a Cheetos just like she had everything else.
Good night.
That's why and somebody need to understand. They need to ask her mama, was she a fan, ever been a fan of Cheetos? Right. You know what I'm saying? She survived off Cheetos, in that little house right there. 15, how many feet you said? Now this is a reconnaissance guy here. This is a military specialist.
Based on the map that I was showing, it was between maybe 1,500 to 2,000 feet.
That's all. Perfect. Perfect for what she needed. Right. Hide away for a few days and then walk back right in the neighborhood. She go up there and make a right and make a left. Actually, I said, is that the house? You weren't here. I was talking to our principal on the phone, and I seen the house with a white wreath on it. You put white on your white roses, your folks dead or whatever. So that's from a military recon and all that, it would be the perfect thing that a hide up in war would even use to.
It sounded like he was trying to say that
that's your
her granddaddy owned
mine
home
too.
or something.
Because guess what? I'm the only black guy that escaped from the Madison County Jail successfully. And so I had to maneuver. I had to go to I went to this shed, and in the shed it was a bicycle in there. So if they had brought the dogs over here, they would have got the scent. I guarantee it.
I agree.
And how long do the scent of you think? And them dogs, how long did they built for that?
I don't know.
The mother gets on NBC Today's show and say what she can't say. But look, and then when she got real acclimated, she couldn't cry no tear, but she got real acclimated.
Okay.
When they asked her, is you think it's an abductor? I think she said, oh yeah, she got real acclimated. Yeah, I know it is. I know. Wait a minute, you just said you couldn't say nothing.
Exactly.
And what they should have been had already gave us a sketch. It's stuck of the duck. If she with them for 48 hours, she knows she like they like the Michael Jackson and Milk. The little boy knew, but Michael Jackson had some on his exterior. You know what I'm saying?
You know the irony in that situation. They never really gave a description of the child.
I know, not yet.
No,
it wasn't no child.
I'm still waiting on that description.
You ain't gonna be getting it. You're gonna be waiting on
I
that time.
settled better for the description of these people that her boyfriend said she fought for her life. So who she fight?
Ooh,
I mean,
she will find her damn self.
Did she taking the training classes or something? You know, but I'm thinking this is and serious people. This is my perspective. I got the military man for recon, and he said from that mile marker, mapping wise, from aerial, it's approximately almost how many yards again?
Well, feet wise, about 1,500 to 2,000.
15. And how long would it take? Because she eluded the police so fast.
Yeah,
when the police got there in 3 minutes, so she would have had to have a quick.
She got to jump. She had maybe 10, 15 minute jump.
Right, and if the police hit that spot, pretty sure they went to that spot because they had already cued her, and they would have went on down the road some, right?
Right.
And so it wasn't no car behind it. They mentioned that it was a truck in front of with a light skinned black guy leaning up the car. But in footage, how many minutes you think it would take?
Footage walking?
For her. She gonna be speeding up now. But now you ain't no lighted, so you got to make for lights. Well, she would have had a little light once she got here because those houses are fixated kind of close. So if they got in the back, most likely those houses have back lights or something that would have been on. So that would have gave a little light, but it still wouldn't have gave enough.
25 minutes, maybe 20, 25 minutes, give or take.
Well, that's pretty much that. Okay. He does go on to say more, and what he pretty much goes on to say more is that like he thinks somebody else had something to do with it, and he was wondering what the connection is to Hapersville Police Department and Carlee. Let me see if I can fast forward to that part because I think he says that like towards the end or something.
If she was really in there, but to get all they would need to do, owns this house and what it is, and they're trying to sell it, and they got this no trespassing signs and only by appointment. So they're trying to get rid of it. Nobody lives in it. But when they came through here back at night, just down here, only one light was on. No vehicles, just a light. And I ain't Perry Mason. And I definitely ain't, what's that new one over there? Not Andy Griffin. Would Andy Griffin play the role? I'm not Mel. I like Seersucker, but I'm the legend. I'm the legend. I'm the legend. If anybody can bring it to you, the way I bring it to you, that's how I do it. I tell y'all all the time.
Okay, so I may have skipped over that part too quickly, but what I did capture towards the end of it was him pretty much talking about Hapersville Police Department and what connection they had and all that other stuff. Because you heard him say it earlier in the video, but he repeats it again towards the end of the video. And he was just talking about how they made this really nice article about her. So I was like, okay, let me research it. Like, what is this Hapersville and Carlee Russell? So then I was able to find it, and it looks like this article may have been published right before she went missing, I believe, or something like that. So let's just get into it and see what this article is actually talking about as it pertains to her. Okay, they're saying smart, courteous Carlee Russell left imprint on Alabama Police Department before going missing. Before she disappeared Thursday night in Hoover, Carlee Russell was in Hapersville, where she left police officers there with an impression of a smart, courteous woman despite a brief interaction, the town's police department said on Friday. But I'm like, why was she even there to talk to them? What kind of work was she doing? How did she come across them? We were honored to spend time with this smart, courteous, and honoring young woman, woman yesterday. She was handling some business in the town of Hapersville yesterday, and we were so impressed by her respect, poise, good attitude, and her drive to become a nursing student and help others. Okay. We were able to tell her how much we thought of her and that she would do well in life. When this news broke, so did our hearts. This world needs many, many more young women and young men like her. The department said it is anxiously awaiting hopeful news while our prayers are with her family, friends, and community. And then they go on to talk about how they were gonna like join them in prayer. Efforts to reach the department for further comment were unsuccessful. I guess later on, like efforts to reach them were unsuccessful by the 16th. Let me see when it was that when the tea came out, girl. Yeah. And then, well, when people started to hear about the rumors and stuff, so by that time when they tried to reach out to them, I guess they weren't, being responsive. But either way, this is something that they ended up saying about Carlee. So I don't know how soon or when prior to did Carlee go to Hapersville, but they had a lot of positive things to say about her. And then now they ain't got to say, okay, they ain't trying to answer no questions. They don't want no involvement. But at the same time, I'm over here like, I feel like this article really gonna hurt you if you try to use any mental case as to use it as an excuse to try and get out of something, because these people made it seem like you were extremely competent, in all honesty. And they felt like you were very smart. What they said, we're honored to spend time with this smart, courteous, and honoring young woman yesterday. So it seems like you met with these people the day before you went missing, is what it's given. You met with them the day before you went missing. That's crazy. All right. They're saying she was handling some business in the town of Hapersville yesterday, and we were so impressed by her respect, her poise, and good attitude, and her drive to becoming a nursing student. Do you hear what I say? So don't be getting up there trying to think you're going to sit up there and plead any type of mental situation, because Hapersville Police Department is labeling you as a completely different type of woman already, girl. Girl, what the hell was you doing over there at these people police station? But anyway, y'all leave your thoughts and comments down below so far about everything that we talked about. Another person that I want to get into, because I enjoy hearing his perspective about things, and that is Mr. Eric Guster. Of course, he goes live shortly after that press conference, and I just want to play what it is that he has to say and just get into that real quickly. Okay, so if you guys would like to see that, then let's go ahead and watch that.
Today is Monday, July 24th. Hoover Police Department just had a press conference about the Carlee Russell case, and she hired an attorney, Emory Anthony, great choice. The press conference was very matter of fact, to the point. The Emory has a meeting with the police department, according to the chief, tomorrow, July 25th. And he stated that in his letter, he stated that there was no kidnapping. She did not leave the Hoover area, no hotel, no additional help. And that was it. And let me tell you this. If this happened last week, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kept the charade for 6 days and kept it going, there's a lot of public interest. But the family became enablers by the family became enablers by stating that there was still a kidnapper. The police chief went to talk to them and stated that, I have all the facts, so can you come clean now? And basically, there's like, do you want to come clean? We ain't got to do this. They stuck to their story. And folks, that's what I've been saying the whole time. And there, in our discussions with this on social media, people have been, talking about, why are y'all still talking about this? The case was still ongoing. She still stood in her lie.
Say that.
Her parents stood in her lie. Her parents went on Today's Show and stood in the lie.
Come on.
And this case would have been over there would be no interest in it if they did this subject. Imagine, they went to the Today Show, got paid. Right? Imagine they sold that to the Today Show. Hey, got a plug for you. There was no kidnapping. Whatever they got paid, they would have gotten paid 4 or 5 times the amount because Today Show and NBC would have had that exclusive. But this ended up finally what I thought was going to happen. I was hoping, I'll say this, I was hoping that her family would hire someone with experience in Emory as that guy. And I'm glad that he is an attorney, and I'm glad that this is coming to an end because now today's Monday. By Wednesday, Thursday, nobody's going to talk about this.
Okay.
And that has been the issue with this case. They kept it alive for so long. They kept it alive for so long because there was a lot of public interest. And there was no kidnapping. According to the attorney's letter, she did not leave the Hoover area. There was no hotel. There was no help. Police still going to check that out because the police probably believe that she had some help. So they're going to check that out. She's going to check that out. And I'm going to talk about some of your questions really quick. Oh, and I do want to address one thing for the people who have been adding me about and messaging me about this case. Oh,
hold on, y'all. I wanted to hear what he said again about the people possibly helping her, because I feel like I think the police may think her parents helped or something.
There was no kidnapping. According to the attorney's letter, she did not leave the Hoover area. There was no hotel. There was no help. Police still going to check that out because the police probably believe that she had some help. So they're going to check that out. She's going to check that out. And I'm going to talk about some of your questions really quick. Oh, and I do want to address one thing for the people who have been adding me about and messaging me about this case. Oh, forgot to tell y'all. If you like my legal analysis, give me a good rating on Google. If you like my legal analysis, go there, give me a 5-star rating, and I would appreciate it. That all this stuff helps. Give me a 5-star rating if you like my legal analysis, even if you don't like what I said. If you like the legal analysis, please give me a 5-star rating, and that is the website and where you go right there. All right. Let's talk about the questions. I'm going to go to your questions now that you had. Some people were talking about the information, the statement of facts. I don't think Emory would give a letter without vetting it. Hoover's going to still check the information though, because she's been lying for a week, so they're going to still check the information. What questions do you have now? Possible charges. Great question. The theft from the job, filing a false police report, making false statements to officers.
Damn.
And a lot of it is going to be about the money, because Hoover is doing accounting right now for who came in, who was working on this case, how many hours, and a lot of it is going to be about the money, because most of these charges would be misdemeanors. The theft is probably a misdemeanor. And so somebody said, do you think, I'm going to get to I'm going to try my best. This live will probably, I thought it was going to be short based upon what he said, but I'm going to try to get to your questions the best way we can. But seriously, this is what should have happened last week, huh? This is what should have happened last week. Hey, she made a mistake. And this is what I laid out. And I don't know if you all realized it, but in my video, I was trying to talk to the people who may be close to that family and try to just get this done. I don't know if you all caught that, but I was trying to give information and get this done.
Yeah, you did too much.
And in my legal, I'm going to answer your question, but I want to
because you shouldn't have threw them no bones
about personal attacks and those things like that. You see them. You've seen them. The local people have seen them. This is a job for me. This is what I do. It's not personal. I do my best to keep the personal feelings at bay so that I can do my job well. Because once you let your personal feelings get into it, you get a clouded judgment. Just like many of you who were still defending her because you wanted to believe her.
I did.
You had clouded judgment.
I did.
And secondly, I do not reach out to people who are involved in cases. This is a job. Reporters reach out to people who are involved in cases. My job is analysis. That's it. So I don't reach out to people like people said, mention Emery's name several times. I have Emery's cell phone number. I didn't call him. Not at all. Not at all.
Hell no, I
And
don't
I
call him
treated
either.
this
He the
case
one that
like
got the
every and I'm going to ask you all to put your questions. I'm going to let you know when to put the questions, and I'll try to go down them as quick as I can. Okay? I've tried my best to treat this case like any other case I've ever given analysis on. I do this 2 or 3 times a month. Nationwide cases, but for many of you, it was personal. And this was not personal to me. And in my analysis, I just give facts based upon the information that has been put out there. And lastly, about comments saying this could be your child. It could be anybody's child. But how you handle this is about parents holding their children accountable. Parents not enabling foolishness. Yeah, it could be anybody's child, but what you do afterwards, that makes a difference of quality parenting. Because all of our children could be out here acting a fool. Don't throw I don't advocate someone throwing their kids to the wolves or don't throwing away the key. No, you give them some representation, but don't stand in lies with them.
Right.
Protect them, but don't stand in foolishness with them. And I believe that, and that's about accountability. We're a society where people don't want to be held accountable for things they do, blame everybody else. Just like with this. Eric, why are you keep talking about this? They keeping it going on. They went on Today's show with an audience of probably 4 million people and said they're still a kidnapper, even though they knew it was bullcrap. It ain't on me.
Period.
It's not on me. Ain't is spelled A-I-N apostrophe T for the people who are not in the South.
I know that's
It's
right.
not on me. It's not on me. It's not on me. And again, let's go to the question. Type your questions now, and I will try to answer your question that you have. I saw some questions.
And I think it's very funny for people to sit up there and be like, why are you keeping this going? Because thousands of people still have questions. Like they still want to know what's going on.
I called this case from beginning to end. And fortunately, she did the right thing. And I'm really glad that this is coming to an end. I'm tired of talking about this more than y'all are. Tired of listening to it. When I handle cases, I talk about it 1 or 2 times, then I move on to the next. I've done like 3 or 4 videos on this case. Do you think I really want to keep talking about this? I'm a lawyer. I get bored with like, man, this is boring. Can we talk about something else? And fortunately, it seems like this is going to come to an end. But
it is.
Don't
I think
give me
so.
5 stars.
I think it's gonna wrap up soon.
Illegal,
which is good.
You got it right. And this is my law firm, Guster Law Firm. We handle automobile accidents and wrongful death cases. That's our website. If you need some help, give us a call. All right, let's go to some questions. What did this mean for Carlee now? She's potentially facing charges. The chief stated that they're going to be in discussions with District Attorney Lenise Washington, who is the district attorney for the Bessemer Cutoff Division of the Bessemer Cutoff Division of Jefferson County, and they're going to determine if there are felony charges that they may screen warrants for. Her saying that her through her attorney saying that this stuff didn't happen does not necessarily negate the charges, but in my experience, when you make police departments work hard for it, they're going to be tougher on you. When you make them go way beyond it, because they could have told them this last Sunday. Hey, it wouldn't happen. Y'all ain't got to put no detectives on this. Let me here all my receipts.
Right.
This where I was. This would happen. They
it was a misunderstanding.
And in law, it's all about timing. It's all about time.
She came home and sat in that lie.
July 24th. School starts, next week or week after? These folks want to be at their lake house. These people want to be at the beach. They want to be on 38 or in Destin or wherever they go. They want to be on the beach this week, but they're over here about some craziness. They don't want to be here for this. And so timing is very important for me when I'm looking at this case. Like, they did not want to be here for this. All right, what other question do you have? Do I think she did it alone? Man, 2 days is a long time to be gone and not
have your
that's a long
phone.
time to be gone.
Nothing, no
Oh, man,
electronics, just
had someone on my
snacks.
computer screen. I thought someone was on
No, she didn't. She
That's a
didn't do
long
this
time to
by
be gone
herself.
without any help. She disappeared from that that road really fast. Really fast. But oftentimes, as lawyers, we can only depend on what our clients give us. And sometimes we're fighting our clients to get to the truth sometimes. And I've been in case with Emory. Emory was one of my mentors early on in my career on criminal law side, on the trial side. Absolutely. We were fighting with clients like, man, we know you did it. Let's try to get this case resolved, and people still fight it. All right. What other question? Do you think she did it by herself? I don't think she did it by herself. I don't think she did it by herself because I don't know. This is a lot to pull off by yourself. And oftentimes people include people in their shenanigans. All right. If that's the case, yes. If that's the case, if she stole overtime pay, yes. But I again, we don't know any of that information. I probably should not have put that on the screen because I only stick with what has already been mentioned. And y'all hear my girls downstairs. I can close my door. Would her claim to have mental problem lessen charge? Just because someone has mental issues does not necessarily negate their criminal liability to a case. Just because you have some diagnoses does not necessarily say, just because you have a diagnosis or something, or mental problems or anxiety or whatever, that doesn't decrease or eliminate your culpability in a charge. So it depends on what it is.
Thank you so much for saying that, because people keep saying that mental, right? And I even thought to myself that she may possibly get off because of that. But I loved how he is, with experience as a criminal trial attorney, is saying that does not negate anything, even if you do got that. So she could take whatever evaluations her as want. She's done is what is given to me. So I'm looking forward to find out what the overall decision is going to be with Hoover and the DA and stuff.
But I mean, she out here having birthday parties and stuff. So
come on,
seemed like to me.
Come on. Full birthdays.
Oh, very good question. Could there be additional charges if parties say today weren't true? No, there would not be. The charges are going to be the charges. The important part that was told in the statement today, there was no kidnapping. There was no kidnapping. That's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Now Hoover has the person who's accused statement saying through their attorney, there's no kidnapping. Because the words that I mentioned this in my last week. The words of an attorney cannot be held against a defendant in a case.
Stupid. Just stupid.
That's one of my questions. Did someone pick her up off the freeway? I got questions about that. Yeah, I know how to pick up stuff, man. That's what we do. Thank you for those ratings. Need them. Yes, Emory is. He's a great lawyer.
That's sad. Skip through.
This is what I do. It was very, very, very personal to so many people who are close to me, but or close contact with this case, but it's simply, this is just my job. And I do this all the time. That's why I confidently came out with that statement on Sunday, because I knew this is bullcrap. But that's what I get hired to do, is call out bullcrap and explain when things happen. Thank you. And I know people have been talking about that. I do a lot. I just don't discuss it. But we're working for awareness, because the reward is up to $46,000 for the firefighters case now.
Oh, those firefighters that I believe got.
Are the parents going to be punished too? Maybe if the parents were involved in a hoax, maybe. But the parents on going on today's show and saying it wasn't kidnapping, that's not a chargeable thing. If they aided and abetted, then
that would be the issue.
They could be. Thank you.
That makes sense.
Really appreciate that.
That makes sense.
It was spent on this. Y'all may hear my girls downstairs. I didn't close my door. In situations like that, it's not as repleted. In 95% of the cases, 95 to 90% of the criminal charges, there are guilty pleas, and that's what people do when they need to resolve a case. There's clearly no kidnapping. There's clearly a criminal liability there, so they may try to
get a plea. They definitely are.
It's going to go away, but the more you cooperate in something like this, the more you work it out early, the better off it is. But you should always work those things out and let your attorney do that. You should let your attorney do that for you. You should let your attorney speak for you. Don't go talking to the police on your own. Let your attorney do that. Okay? Yep.
Let me see what other questions he
can
ask.
I'm like 10 minutes behind. Wow. It depends on if the mom knew. Well, if the mom helped her with the lie, and if after the fact they helped cover up some things. And that could get to conspiracy, but I doubt that the parents would be charged based upon what I know, what has been said. And so I'm trying to be very mindful of how I put that. But now, this case, the interest is going to die. And this is what should have happened last week. By Wednesday, we won't be talking about this. And trust, I want to move on too. I have there's a Long Island killer on TV right now. I need to be talking about that. I need to talk about this trial.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, yeah.
I need to talk about that. Hold on, I got one of my TV people emailing me.
Let me skip through.
Yes, Lanice Washington is the district attorney for the Western Cutoff. She's one of the smartest, I'm saying about Lanice and Danny. They are two of the most conscientious, smart, caring seekers of justice. Both Lanice and Danny. I've gone against both of them. Oh, I have fought with both of them. Okay, when I was growing up, I fought with both of them. We gonna fight. But as far as someone not just trying to get a conviction on someone, trying to get justice, they're both amazing DAs, and I fully support both of them.
Okay, she's going down.
What questions do you
She's
have?
going down. All right, guys. So I just wanted to get a little bit of what Eric Guster had to say regarding this case. I think some of the people that are hopping in asking a lot of questions are asking some great questions. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out the rest of his video, definitely go over on Facebook, go to Eric Guster, Guster, and check out what all he has to say. Just check out the rest of the video and all of that good jazz. And I'm probably gonna finish it up myself, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Primarily this post that came from the ex-boyfriend or whatnot, talking about how he's disgusted and disappointed with Carlee's actions and everything. We also got into a few theories and stuff, so I definitely want to hear you all's thoughts when it comes down to the theories. All right, we also talked about Carlee happening to be at a different police department, I guess doing some service work or whatnot prior to her going missing or whatnot, which is interesting because the article was put out on July 14th, but she went missing on the 13th. So it seems like, did she do any work with them earlier on the 13th, or did she do any work on the 12th or something like that? Just wondering what that is all about. Yeah, we reviewed what the press conference was from you know, on Monday or whatnot. So I just want to hear you all's thoughts and comments about primarily the theories. Let me hear your thoughts about the theories, the boyfriend, and some of the things that Eric Guster had to say. All right. That's all that I have. I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.